The fold signature appeared on my board at 0412 station time. 17 contacts, tight formation, dropping out of faster-than-light transit approximately 900 kilometers above the upper atmosphere. I had been on shift for 6 hours. My coffee was cold. The city of Ardenthville spread below me through the observation port, 200 kilometers of lit towers and transit lanes, and the slow, kilometer-long shadows of our warships holding their patrol ellipses in the thermosphere. A quiet morning by any measure, until it wasn't. I tagged the contacts and ran the configuration. Not ours. Not any registered friendly configuration in the Continuity Fleet Index. I flagged it to Watch Command and kept my hands steady on the console, the way my instructor at Station College had drilled into us. Your hands tell the ship what you know, and right now, you need them to believe you know everything. Watch Commander Oral came online inside 30 seconds. Marin, talk to me. 17 contacts, Commander. Fold exit signatures consistent with deep transit drives. Very long baseline, very old propulsion geometry. They are not accelerating toward us. They are holding position and broadcasting. Broadcasting what? I ran the decode. It took 8 seconds. The signal was in a language our archives flagged immediately. Vorhai Dominion Standard, a dialect form that our linguists had not heard spoken by a living source in recorded history. The content was an automated territorial claim, property of the Vorhai Dominion, uninhabited reclamation zone, extraction operations to commence. I read it aloud to the commander. There was a pause. Pull up the historical index, he said. Vorhai Dominion, full file. I already had it open. 40,000 years ago, this system had been a Vorhai garrison world, a forward operating base and mining extraction zone. The people living here at that time had been, per the Vorhai's own records, which we had recovered from ruins on the southern continent, a minor biological presence, non-space capable, of no industrial relevance. The Dominion had extracted what it came for, bombarded the surface installations when they finished, and departed. Their own survey logs classified the world as sterilized, cleared, and available for future reclamation should resources warrant. They had apparently decided resources now warranted. The Vorhai did not know we had their survey logs. They did not know we could read Vorhai Dominion Standard. They almost certainly did not know that 40,000 years is a very long time, and that the people they had classified as a minor biological presence of no industrial relevance had spent every single generation of those 40,000 years remembering exactly what had happened here and deciding, quietly, permanently, that it would never happen again. Commander, I said, request permission to transmit the continuity response. Another pause, shorter this time. Transmit, he said. I opened the file. Every atmospheric traffic controller, at every continuity station, above every inhabited Earth system carried it. Updated and re-authenticated each generation, the chain of custody unbroken for 40,000 years. It was not a threat. It contained no weapon specifications, no casualty projections, no ultimatums. It was a document, 11 pages of precise, legally formatted, Vorhai Dominion Standard, drafted in the immediate aftermath of the bombardment by survivors who had somehow gotten their hands on a Vorhai administrative codex and taught themselves to write in the language of the people who had burned their world. The opening line, as our archivists had translated it for the internal record, read approximately, "We, the surviving population of this system, having studied your legal frameworks at considerable length, hereby file our formal notice of continuous sovereign occupation under Vorhai Dominion Reclamation Statute 7, Article 14, which states that no reclamation claim may proceed against any world in which biological presence has persisted without interruption from the date of original survey." We had persisted. 40,000 years of uninterrupted biological presence. Our ancestors had known the statute existed, had filed the counterclaim in the Vorhai's own language and their own legal code, and had spent every generation since keeping the documentation current, the chain of custody intact, and the signal ready to transmit on the day the Dominion came back. The transmission took 4 seconds to reach the Armada. Then I watched the formation do something I had never seen in training simulations. I had seen alien fleets advance. I had seen them hold position. I had seen them turn and run. I had not seen what the Vorhai did, which was something closer to a full formation freeze, 17 ships going from coordinated transit hold into a state of apparent complete systems processing pause. Like a mind that has received information, it does not have the architecture to accommodate. They had come prepared for a dead world, or a weak one. They had their claim filed. They had their extraction schedule. They had the coordinates of the garrison ruins they meant to rebuild. What they were not prepared for was the view from 900 kilometers up, which showed them Ardent Vel, 200 kilometers of towers, the transit lanes running between continental platforms, the slow-moving warships in the thermosphere, the orbital ring just visible above the cloud layer, the construction signatures of our deep system installations. On the long-range scans, they were certainly running by now. And in their communications queue, 11 pages of their own legal language, filed under their own statute, signed and countersigned across 40,000 years of authenticated updates, telling them in terms their own lawyers had written that this reclamation had been legally contested since the week after their ships left. Watch Commander Orel came back on the line. Marin, anything from them? Not yet, Commander. How are they sitting? Still at hold. Formation integrity is... I checked the board. Formation integrity is degrading slightly. Lead vessel has pulled back approximately 40 kilometers from the rest. I think their commander is having a conversation he did not anticipate having this morning. I heard something that might have been a laugh from the commander, low and dry and very brief. Keep the warships where they are. Don't advance. Don't demonstrate. If the Vorhai want to know what we've built, they can look at it. That was the right call. There was nothing to prove here. Everything that needed proving was already visible from 900 kilometers up. The warships they could see, the installations they could scan, the orbital ring they had certainly identified by now, the fact that this world had spent 40,000 years becoming precisely and deliberately something that could not be taken back. We had not scrambled fighters. We had not charged weapons. We had transmitted a document and let them do the arithmetic. 12 minutes after I sent the continuity response, the Vorhai formation began to move, not toward us. Away, slow, controlled, the kind of withdrawal that has been authorized at command level and executed with whatever dignity a fleet can maintain when it is leaving, without having accomplished anything it came to do. The lead vessel rejoined the formation. They did not transmit a reply. They did not acknowledge the counterclaim. They folded out of the system in a single coordinated transit jump, 17 contacts collapsing to 0 on my board in the span of 4 seconds. Watch Commander Orel came on one more time. Marin, log it and stand down to standard watch. Aye, Commander. I entered the contact log, the transmission record, the formation behavior, the withdrawal time. 17 contacts. Duration of engagement, 41 minutes from fold entry to fold exit. Shots fired, none. Casualties, none. Counterclaim transmitted, confirmed. Vorhai response, withdrawal without reply. I thought about the people who had written those 11 pages, survivors in the rubble of a world that had just been told, by the people who burned it, that it did not matter. They had not had warships. They had not had an orbital ring. They had not had the capacity to stop anything. What they had was a copy of the enemy's legal codex and a very clear understanding that preparation is not a single act. It is a direction you choose and then walk in, every generation, without stopping, for as long as it takes. 40,000 years is a long time to walk in one direction, but we were still here. Outside the observation port, Ardent Vel was beginning to catch the morning light, the towers picking up a slow gold along their upper faces. The warships in the thermosphere were running their patrol ellipses exactly as they had been when the Vorhai arrived. Below them, the city was waking up. 200 kilometers of people who would read the contact log in the morning news and understand, the way we always understood when it happened, that someone had come back to collect on a debt that no longer existed. They would not be afraid. That was the thing I wanted the Vorhai to carry back with them, the thing they could not miss if they had looked at this world for 30 seconds with honest eyes. We were not afraid of them. We hadn't been, for a very long time. I filed the watch report at 05:14 station time. My coffee was still cold. I made a fresh cup, and I drank it at the console while the morning shift came on, and I told them nothing had happened. Because in the most important sense, nothing had. They came, they saw, they left. The document held. That was not a surprise. That was exactly what 40,000 years of preparation looked like. when it finally had a reason to stand up.